So they are trying to recover from Black Monday. Makes sense. Request a Danish bailout, so this is pro-Denmark, I guess? 37 plebiscites, so that's going to be an election. Independence. Or... So, independence or pro-Denmark. Then they can either go Union of Britain or Entente. Or Germany. Oh no, that's anti-Germany. Even if you get independence, Denmark still guarantees you, which is kind of cool. King in Ottawa, loyalty to England. So you can choose Entente or International. And absolutely no references to Vikings whatsoever. I am very disappointed, Iceland. Very disappointed. Nicaragua has declared war on Honduras. Game changing, that one. How is Yucatan still alive? I'm impressed. Whoa, actually, they've... 16 industries? Oh, that was Mexico. I say again, how on earth is Yucatan still alive? They have 4 divisions. I guess they only have 2 provinces to defend, but still. 0 out of Viking. Awful. Something is wrong with their tree. Very good. So we've almost finished our support of the king. Middle Africa declared war on Portugal. This is the beginning of the end for Middle Africa and the Germany game. Though there are some that believe the old-fashioned colonial wars are a relic of the pre-Weltkrieg era, recent events in Africa have shown that man's thirst for battle on the Dark Continent is not in any immediate danger of abating. Growing tensions between German Middle Africa and the Portuguese colonies have degenerated in recent months from somewhat farcical disputes involving little more than cattle raiding into open conflict in Mozambique and Angola, with colonial troops and their white officers on both sides waging a fruitless guerrilla war that is sure to cost many lives. If they think it's worth it. Those silly colonialists. National focus completed. Support the king. I wonder, if I was in the Reichspakt when I requested grain from Ukraine, if they would have accepted then. Maybe I just did that too early. King Frederick calls for unity, holding an official speech in front of the Parliament House. King Frederick, in his time of post-crisis and widespread uncertainty, has chosen to appeal to the Finnish people, hoping to change their perception of him. Rather than being perceived as a German puppet, the king wishes to act as a unifier for all Finns, and has done so through an impassioned speech. Touching upon the recent events and political instability, the king has called for the support of the people, and has laid out his plan to make the Kingdom of Finland into a more stable and prosperous place for the Finnish citizenry, stating that he will do everything in his power to make such a world a reality. And while the speech has not met with a roaring applause from the still hesitant and uncertain Finnish populace, it has won the king a few supporters and brought him some time. Probably the best we could have hoped for. And... oh, we have to do the economic liberalism. Blah. Well, I guess it's a good thing that we did go I almost said destabilized industry. What was it called? Spread out industry. Because we're going to have a higher production efficiency cap regardless. Although we do kind of rely on having good production efficiency. Not at all convinced by that. The secret police have been invaluable in their efforts to subvert internal threats against the monarchy. In order to increase their effectiveness, we must begin reorganization of the organization while also diverting more funding their way. We must make Finland stable again. Disperse, that's the word. I can never remember that one for some reason. Kaiserreich does make it tough to be politically correct, yes it does. Huzzah! Requin! Thank you very much for the 15-month resubscription. Really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Howdy! In the middle of the North Sea, internet is just about good enough to see some fuzzy shapes. Fair enough. The Fourth Balkan War. A country was reborn in the Balkans after the Welsh Creek, Greater Bulgaria, the titan of the peninsula, uniting all Bulgarian lands and beyond. This kingdom for all Bulgarians was born with bloodshed and war through defeating Serbia, Greece, Romania and the Welsh Creek, a move that these three nations are still bitter about today. Serbia has declared war on Bulgaria. Now, will Bulgaria be supported by the Ottomans? Because last time they were. And now we can get more dispersed industry, I guess. I'm not at all convinced by this. Because dispersed industry is entirely reliant on the efficiency. And if our efficiency cap is going to be lower, then I just want raw output rather than efficiency. I really don't want to do this, but I think I have to. Because it's not like game breaking, it's basically going to cancel out one of these. But on this side, you do want as high a cap as possible. Yeah, I know what the difference is. It's just the fact that one of my focuses reduces my efficiency. And that's really not good. If you're going dispersed, because you're entirely reliant on that efficiency. Ah, sod you. Grr. Which version of Kaiserreich is this? Should be the most recent. Okay, we have got another technology. Still June 37. Those are 38. Artillery we're up to date on. Could get better fighters, though I doubt that we have the industrial output to do it. You know what, let's get radios. Argentina declared war on the Patagonian Workers' Front. Integralist Brazil. Are you going monarchist? Are you going for the Empire of Brazil? This really has changed. Regency, here it is. Empire of Brazil, they are. Sweet. What are the interesting countries in Kaiserreich for a newcomer? Germany, 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 Germany. If this is your first game, I very highly recommend Germany. Because they will introduce you to everything happening in the game. Because everything in this is from Germany's perspective, so understanding the events going on in Germany are kind of integral for like the entire lore of this game to make sense. So, Germany. After that, playing as someone like the Union of Britain, the Commune of France, Russia, America, any of those are good, but definitely for your first playthrough, Germany. The Chilean Argentinian War. Tensions have been running high between the two regional powers for years now, as ideological differences drove the nations further and further apart. Support by Chile for the FOP in Patagonia and the incapacity of Argentina to quell the rebellion have finally come to blows as a joint offensive by the Argentinian army and Armada was met by heavy resistance on the Rio Negro, with the Chilean forces opening fire on the advancing Argentinian troops. Oops. Whoa, that is a weirdly shaped Argentina. And there's the Patagonian Workers' Front. Paraguay has declared war on Bolivia. Is Chile communist? Chile is very communist. Interesting. Argentina's in trouble. Oh, and Canada too, yes. So I would recommend Germany on the first playthrough. And then after that, I would say Canada or Union of Britain / Commune of France, kind of interchangeable. Yeah, either of those. So then you can get the Entente / Communist perspective. Then after that, probably anyone, really. Russia, USA. French Republic is interesting, actually. I would say Canada, you can do slightly more, but French Republic, you can certainly have an impact. I wouldn't recommend playing in China as the only one, because they're still working on that update. But yeah, first game, Germany. Tried to play as Poland in the first game, tried to revive the PLC, did not end well. That's very difficult. Very, very difficult. Saudi Arabia has joined the Cairo Pact. And it just immediately changed the text there for some reason. So that's going to be Egypt and Saudi. Pacific States of America and the Pacific States and the AUS have made peace. Whoa! That wasn't with the AUS, that was with the USA. So this pocket is going to get eaten up by the AUS. The CSA still have a lot of industry. The PSA are a real power now, though. That focus has changed. I don't think so. Actually, yeah, it probably has. But anyway, let's do a quick comparison. So, PSA have got... You know what, there's an easier way of doing this. Wait. Oh! The AUS and the PSA are on the same side. Both of them are fighting against the CSA. These two are not at war. Now that's interesting. Because had it just been one or the other, I would have gone, okay, they have 120 factories. Ouch. But it's actually roughly even with these two allied together. That's very interesting, actually. I like that. Freaky Zed, thank you very much for the bits. PSA for the win. West Coast is best coast. Now let the arguments commence in chat. Which coast is best coast? I found in my PSA playthrough that the problem with PSA is almost all the territory you capture right away is full of nobody and nothing. That is true, but it's also very easy to defend because it's so just dead. And then all of your industry is protected by the Sierra Nevadas. So as long as you can hole up anyone in the mountains, then you're pretty good. And then all of this is just empty, like you said. It's just space to fight in. Well, if they're fighting over here, then basically any province that you take is going to matter. If California falls into the ocean, then the West Coast is the best coast. Neither, Midwest forever. Deal with the devil. With their forces hard pressed by the combined syndicates of America, representatives from both the Pacific States of America and the American Union State have agreed to a temporary truce, lest the syndicates roll over them both and win the American Civil War. Whether their agreement comes too late or if it can even last more than a few months before both sides turn on the other remains to be seen. Most onlookers appear to agree this unprecedented agreement indicates that, for now, the combined syndicates of America has the definite upper hand. I like this. This is cool. If the USA gets wiped out, then the PSA and the AUS might ally against the CSA. Now we just need for the AUS to take Texas back quickly so they can rush those forces north. Like, I don't expect this pocket to last for very long, but if I was the CSA, I would be trying to hold this with everything I've got. Nicaragua and Social Republic of Honduras have made peace. Vatican's still alive! How? Mexico, what's going on here? Three divisions, one military factory. Yucatan's strong, yeah, apparently. So what's happening in this war? It looks like the CNTFAI is doing pretty well. Although, I think the Kingdom of Spain's doing fine. The Carlists aren't doing amazing. So whoever takes out the Carlists and takes the most land from them will probably win this. The nice thing to see is Madrid so secure. That's usually the problem for the Kingdom, is they lose Madrid and then it's game over. I don't know why I'm yawning so much today. Oh, my window might not be open. Oh, I'm not going to do that in a minute. Reorganize the Etsiva Keskus Polici. Expanding the state police. It is now clear that we must take the expanding the role of the state police so as to allow for the detection of activities deemed to be stirring up dissent, and hopefully end such activities before they can take hold on the nation and gain widespread influence amongst the people. As such, King Frederick has seen fit to increase the budget and the powers of the state police, while also delegating day-to-day matters to intelligence ministers within his cabinet. The increase in funding has allowed for the investigation office of the state police to employ a greater number of employees, while also allowing them to taste out new methods to deal with any sort of dissidents and protect the Kingdom of Finland's internal security. This has, of course, not been popular with large segments of the population, who view this measure as both excessive and totalitarian. So we have division attrition -5, reconnaissance +5, and decryption +5. Ooh, hello. I do like my decryption. Decryption's really useful. Yeah, okay, let's start retaining economic liberalism. Economic liberalism is the cornerstone of the Finnish economic development, fighting against the forces who seek to place the economic well-being of the nation into the hands of the government, thereby damaging the economic gains made under business owners. We must place an emphasis on the protection of the free market. Market liberals. That's what we are, except we're not. Are any of the Italian factions interesting to play with? Yes. All of them except for the Papal States. Really? I enjoy the Papal States. I mean, I'm always going to stand up for my boy in Sardinia here. I love Sardinia. 2 Sicilies can be good too. And if you want to be in the Internationale, playing as the Socialists are good. If you want a more pro-Austrian, then play as the Italian Republic. Like, if you want like an Italian playthrough, play as the 2 Sicilies. If you want a interventionist Entente playthrough, play as Sardinia. If you want to be the smaller alliance in the Italy, Britain, French alliance, then you can play as the Socialists. And if you want to be an Austrian puppet, play as the Italian Republic. I don't remember much about the Pope, I have to say. I actually played the Pope? I must have, because I remember the papal elections. Peru has declared war on Ecuador. Wow, South America really is going at it. And the United Baltic Duchy has declared war on Estonia and Latvia. For many years, the United Baltic Duchy, set up by the Germans after the conquest of the former Russian governorates during the Weltkrieg, has marginalized its native Estonian and Latvian populace. Through the local populations being ruled by local German elites, for centuries the imposition of the German ducal structure under Duke Frederick and the policies that favour German settlers and undermine the natives, open rebellion has broken out. A blow to the Reichspakt for sure. Syndicalism spreads to Burma following a string of poor decisions by the Burmese government, culminating in an order to the Royal Burmese Army to open fire on protesting students and workers. The entire country is turned against the royalty. The newly formed National Council is forming a new syndicalist government and is reportedly already considering outwards for strong, like-minded allies. Right, I'm going to go and open my window for a bit, so be right back. Okay, and I'm back. And I have to say, sorry for you arachnophobes around, but there is a really smart spider here. So very often I get flies coming into my room, because obviously I have the lights on, flies go, ooh, there's light, and I'm attracted to it. The spider has built a web on the gap where, well, I usually open my window like the same amount every time. There's a spider who's built a web just in that gap, so he's going to catch all of the flies trying to come into my room. That's a smart spider. Onwards. That's why I like to keep spiders around. Yeah, same. Much prefer spiders to flies. Flies are freaking disgusting. The Dutch like the elections, the Balkans love their wars. Is his name Boris? His name can now be Boris. Spiders are cool, never kill any that make it to my home. They're welcome to stay and eat all the mosquitoes. Yeah, exactly, spiders are a fantastic pest removal. Most spiders are smart, they know what to do to get grub. Flat spiders stay, fat spiders smush, the fat ones tend to be poisonous. Not in Britain, they don't. There's almost nothing poisonous in this country, it's one of the nice things about it. The peace deal has been signed between Mexico and Yucatan. Please tell me Yucatan's independent, please. Yes! How? How have you achieved this? Oh, Mexico, what are you doing? Oh, go Yucatan, my new favourite state. They've even got a tree. What? That's incredible. That's like Korea surviving. I wonder if Korea has a tree. Not sure. Spiders, flies, humans. I wipe everything out that comes into my house with fire and gas.
I wipe everything out that comes into my house. Because I'm using muffled gas mask noises right now.
That's a gas mask noise. They have a Star Wars... Wait, who? What? Yucatan can into space? Oh, I wonder if that's a... I was going to say, I wonder if that's a reference to the Mayan calendar. No, the Mayan... What am I trying to think of here? Didn't the Mayans, like, predict the future? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the Mayan future prediction thing. Save here and do a game of the Yucatan later. That's not a bad idea. Danny, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Alright, I'm just going to go Yucatan. A Star War was a decisive conflict between rival polities of the Maya civilization during the first millennium. Aha, interesting. Russia announces her intentions. While many still view Russia as a failed state, rocked by political protest and radical ideology, good for nothing but filling space in the east of the map, recent events have proven something different. The government of the Russian nation has announced their territorial ambitions, laying claim to almost all of the territory of the former Russian Empire, and making clear their willingness to resort to military force if needed. Okay, so that is definitely suggesting to me that I need to increase the number of these guys that we have. And there goes my manpower. At least we have all the gear for it. We do actually have quite a lot of stored up equipment, which is nice. And you know what? We've actually finished one of our spots. So let's go ahead and start building more civilian factories so that we can then increase the speed of building more civilian factories in the future. Whoa, Kingdom of Spain is rocking it at the moment. This is relatively rare. What about over here? I would say that this is a pretty equal war as well. This is going to be pretty bloody. Retain economic liberalism. Done. Okay, so now we want to educate the citizenry so we can get that lovely 5% extra research speed. We're actually going to tech up fairly quickly because of that. And then there's another research slot down here. I haven't seen any others, but I haven't really been looking either. The idea that every Finn has the right to an education is a correct one. We must provide our people the resources needed to bolster the welfare of our citizenry and prosperity of our nation.